Well, everyone, happy July. Happy post Canada Day. We are here, the Prime Real Estate team, Tony and Kyle. We're here to give you the sales stats report for the month of June 2020. And wow, was it a doozer, right, Kyle, in a good way?
Yeah, well, we were giving updates kind of throughout the month, and we knew the sales were trending high, but the final numbers were big. And I know it's been a couple days because it was Canada Day, and we were both busy yesterday. But the numbers are big, and the media is talking about it.
Well, let's do a little share screen for our viewers today, because of course we can do this on Zoom, right? I want to just pull up the main page right here. This is the MLS system, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. So you get to see the inside of the MLS system. It would be helpful if my computer wasn't so slow, right? As it's waiting here, why don't you just tell us about what happened?
Okay, well, as we're firing that up, we had 808 sales in June. And that's big because in June 2019, we only had 740.
Yeah,
So
and right now we're dealing with a very different global situation, right?
Yeah, it's been very interesting. As we've reported, we're all working under safety protocols and working under WorkSafe BC guidelines. But a lot of people who have been kind of waiting on the sidelines the last couple months, as we've gone into phase 2 and now phase 3 of BC's restart plan, we are seeing a lot more confidence and people feeling more comfortable coming out, and the sales really exemplify that.
Okay, you know what? To some degree, I don't get it. All right, I know we're in real estate. This is what we do, but we're all concentrated and concerned about our families. We're concerned about social distancing, going to the store, minimizing contact and all that stuff. And yet people are thinking of real estate, and it's like, holy cow! But the demand is there. And when the demand is there, things happen, right? And consequently, we're busy. I mean, June was a busy month for us. We're always busy. But 808, that is unbelievable. Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, we were down 58% in April, 46% in May.
Hey.
We are now up 9% in the month of June. So
Well, the interesting part, I think, about the comfortability of going out and buying homes is if you look at the new listings number there as well, we actually had more inventory come on the market last month than June 2019. But overall, our inventory has continued to trend down because of that increase in sales. So we're under 2,700 active listings right now, which is lower than where we started the month.
Well, okay, maybe I can share that with everyone here too. If I can, if the computer acts fast enough. The thing that I wanted to demonstrate to everyone is we left off at 808 sales for June. What does that mean? Is that high? Is that low? Well, obviously the years 2015, 16, 17, those were our record-breaking years. So we had over 1,000 sales, which had never happened since, right? But you look at the rest of the Junes, 680, 630, 618, 625. Yeah, here was a bigger one. 723, all the way to the year 1990. 455, 571. So these were all normal marketplaces where people weren't dealing with self-isolation and right?
Yeah, so, no, exactly. And you might have been different economic situations happening, but not something that was so physically tied to us. It's like you said, it's supposed to be social distancing, and everyone is, right? When people are looking at homes, they are doing it safely, but it just shows the amount of momentum and confidence that people are having right now.
100%. Okay, let's look at that active listings count, right? So here we were for June of 2020, 2,698 active listings, right? Okay, again, what does that mean? Well, have a look, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the other Junes. Again, these 3 years, 2016, 17, 18, 15, 16, 17, very busy marketplaces, right? But the rest of the time, 5,100, 5,000, 4,400, 30, that's July. I'm looking at the wrong column. Still, 5,000, 4,700, right? We're used to right now having about 5,000 or 4,000 whatever listings. And right now we have 2,698. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the low inventory demonstration. Also high demand because of the fact that we've got a lot of people coming in from out of town there's this whole ripple effect going on right now. I talked about this with my friends in Toronto yesterday, where in the GTA, people are moving to outlining areas. They're moving to Guelph. They're moving to Barrie. They're moving to Durham region. They're coming all the way over here. So that's going on. Same thing's happening with Toronto. Had questions about whether what's going on in Hong Kong is going to affect us here. Not directly. May affect Vancouver. And they're not, by the way, new residents. They're typically dual citizens, people who were already in Vancouver, already have both passports. So yeah, really interesting time. Our prices, though, ooh, what happened with prices last month?
Well, the big one that's out in the news right now, of course, is the average price. And we've talked about why averages can be a bit challenging when we use it as just a moment in time. But the average sale price in Victoria for the first time was over $1 million.
We are officially $1 million town. Look at this. The average, 1,014,746. That shows a 17% increase from last year. But does that mean that my house went up 17%?
It definitely does not.
What?
We have to look at the benchmark pricing trends. But again, what this shows that in the month of June, a lot more higher end or luxury style properties were selling, which drives up that average price for that month of sales. Yeah. And we talked about this a little bit earlier, but over $2 million. We had, I think, we had 22 sales this last month.
Let's demonstrate. Let's demonstrate. So I pulled this up for you, ladies and gentlemen. This is sales over $2 million in the month of June, of which there were 26.
26,
right?
yes.
All happened in the month of June, right? Mostly in the sort of mid two and down, right? Couple of bigger ones, including 6.2 million on Queenswood. But you have to understand, even though it shows 13 days on market, this is a house that had been on the market for a year, right? Yeah. So exactly. This is older inventory. There's another example here, this house here on Agate, which is in Cordova Bay. Again, 27 days sold. Hey, that looks pretty good. Not quite true, because it had been on the market for a long time here, right? 2018, 19, February 2020, right? But the bottom line is, that's a lot. 26 over $2 million, because I want to show you how many sold same time period, June 2019. It wasn't 26, it was 12.
Yeah. Right. So that exactly just demonstrates how one given month, when you start using averages as your benchmark, it can really skew things off, because you had a sale at 6.5, you had a few other sales last month, well over 3 million. And so that starts driving that average up. So, this is why I think you have the benchmark pricing trends available there, don't you, Tony?
Yeah.
So when we look at benchmark prices, which is actually looking at the same style of home in the same style of neighborhood over a given period of time, so we can benchmark that back 1 month, 6 months, 3 years. So I think that will give a better indication of where we are from this time last year when it comes to prices.
Yeah, it would help if my computer wasn't so slow, but keep talking. I'll be right there.
Yeah. So as we talk about that, where that pressure is, again, it's talking about low inventory and that higher demand as we continue to work through this. It'll be interesting to see where the next couple months go. Of course, we also had CMHC, who announced some mortgage rule changes. We had some clients that were initially motivated by those changes, but with Genworth and Canada Guarantee deferring and saying we're not going to implement those same rules, I think it took the pressure off of some people from having to buy who was going to need an insured mortgage. Mm-hmm. But as we continue to roll through, as you said about the luxury market and that over $2 million, if we look back at that end of the market a few months ago, we had 10 to 12 months of inventory available. Now we're down to about 5. So some people decided probably to take their homes off the market, while others, we realized 26 sales last month in an end of the market that doesn't necessarily move as quick. So like you said, some of that was older inventory, but with this little bit of a pickup, they were able to finally experience sales.
Okay, I'm having trouble here. But the fact is, even though the average sale price was up 17%, the index is up 4.6%, because we looked at that earlier. That's a representation of a house today compared to what it would have sold for 6 months ago or 12 months ago or whatever. So we're up 4.6%. So prices are up. Now, I spoke with a friend in the community a couple of days ago, and she was asking my opinion about pricing. She's thinking about buying something. And she says to me, she goes, I talked to another top agent in Victoria, and he said prices were going down 18%. And I'm like, what agent is this? Because there are no indications about this. We're just demonstrating this to you, ladies and gentlemen. Low inventory, high demand, prices are up. People are moving from out of town. I mean, what else? What else do we need to do to prove it? Right now,
Yeah.
on the other hand, let's face it, we don't know what's going to happen in the fall. People keep on talking about this whole second wave thing. It feels like people are wanting to get into their new home now, locking in a 5-year term, and then, hey, listen, if when we find the you know, when we find the fix for COVID-19,
Yeah.
that'll be well behind us, you know, if that's a year from now or 18 months or whatever. But people are still in their new home, they're making the payments, and that's what the demand and the drive is. At the end of the day, when we look 5 years out, it's still Victoria. We're going to be doing just fine. Because, you know, her concern was, what if I bought this house now and the prices went down 18%? Well, I said, it's not going to happen. She was fighting with me. She did not believe this because an agent, and I'd like to know who this is, because this is an agent who, number one, is, I mean, I don't want to belittle a colleague, right?
No, of course not.
But the fact is, there is no, anyone who's saying that is dead wrong, 1,000%.
Yeah, well,
1,000%.
I think even if you look outside the real estate market, what would cause that to happen, right? You have to look at something large and economic,
Well,
right?
you know what? Apparently, a global pandemic is not enough.
Well, exactly, right. And when we look at Victoria's economy, we always talk about that. We're a government town, we're a military town, tech, retirement, right? So there would have to be something so substantial to happen. And if a global pandemic didn't do it, then yes, what is that rationale? Anyone can say prices are going to go down, but what is it rooted in to fully understand?
Yeah, we're always here just trying to give you guys the balanced stats and the information. And you know what? It's not a case of us saying, oh, you know, we're real estate people. We want prices to go up because it means we're going to make more money. Well, we work with a lot of buyers too who are struggling to find affordable homes. So I'll tell you, we would be just as happy if there was a ton of affordable housing out there. But this is just the way things are. Right, Kyle?
Yeah. Yeah, well, people keep moving here, and that's the challenging part. Why our inventory is stayed constrained, right? Victoria is continuing to grow as a city, and it is creating challenges for some of our clients, and we're trying to help them as best as possible.
Well, you know, we're taxing foreign buyers, but as it turns out, they're not the ones who are actually driving the values up. Maybe what the government's got to do is start taxing fellow Canadians from coming either into the province or across the water, right? Maybe that's what needs to be done. I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. You know, we've created this beautiful place, and people want to live here.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, see you soon.
Okay.
All right, everyone.
See you next month. Cheers.
Bye now.